Hello Commanders, and welcome to this video for Infinite Lagrange. As you can see here in the background, I have the Flagship gameplay preview open. That was from last week, 10th of November, and I didn't really make a video because while it sounds very interesting, there was not so much real information given. Yes, we will get flagships, and flagships will have additional skills. Okay, so far so good. But today we got an additional update, the Flagship gameplay preview 2. And this now is getting much more interesting. As you can see now, we do get more details. Like in this case, the Constantine the Great multi-role battlecruiser, the best battlecruiser if you ask me, gets a siege tactic or a focused fire tactic. And we can already see you can level them up. In this case here 7 out of 7, here I see 1 out of 3, so there are different levels you can rank up these skills. They are in the comment system. Before there was nothing in the comment system beside where our ship is located, so this is really interesting. And I don't know how many comment points it requires. I would say this looks like 2 digits, but we will see. Now, I did already read through this. I will try to make it short. I put the link into the description, so if you want to read through all the details, feel free. You're very welcome to do that. There will be a user interface where we can select which flagship skills we want to use in case we have multiple available. And now let's quickly go through this. I will not go through all the ships. You can always see here like optimized reload. It will reduce the cooldowns of the weapons in the first 2 rounds. Not really one of the best, especially because of the ships that are selected there. Target guidance sounds interesting, but you need to have at least 3 KCCPV 20 cruisers, and it will increase the hit rate of the cruiser's weapon. Now, I do like the KCCPV 2, but not as damage dealing cruiser, but more for bringing in large fighters. There's also combat surge. When fleets engage in combat, they tackle the enemy by approaching them, increasing the time required for both parties to retreat. Now that could be a very fun one. It is a skill of the Spear of Uranus. It sounds like you will have like, I don't know how long, 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes before you finally can retreat. It's a little bit of a bullying skill. If you try to kill an enemy fleet where you know it is weaker, this is good. But I would be careful. If you by accident hit a fleet that is stronger than you, both parties will require more time to retreat. We do have the patrolling defense skill here, which allows us to guard more resource nodes. Not really something I'm very, in particular excited about. It also comes again here for other ships. The cautious warning flagship, it's for the Eris. It increases the field of vision at the cost of additional action points. Now that is something I was not aware of, but I can see some use there for not really combat fleets, but using the Eris light rapid fire cannon destroyer in this case with a larger field of view to scout, to look out for enemy ships in proximity that might hide somewhere. Now the siege tactic, that's one of the more interesting skills. You can see it's siege tactic 1 and 2 available here. When in battle with a fleet that has lower command point value than your fleet, the opponent's fleet will be unable to retreat for a period of time right after the battle starts. So that goes a little bit into the tackling skill we had before. Here's a combat surge. The good thing is it will not affect you, it will only affect the enemy fleet, and only if the enemy fleet is weaker. So honestly, that is really good, because if the enemy fleet is stronger, you can still retreat whenever you want. And yeah, it's nice if you can use this to catch maybe some usually faster fleets, and they will not be able to retreat as fast as usual. But same thing, it's a bully skill. Desperate Measures 2, 2 times, so I guess one should be Desperate Measures 1, probably the first one. When an enemy target's command point is higher than yours by a certain degree, you will attack the target with a lower HP first. Now that is a very interesting one. Also, it's on the Chimera. I love the Chimera, so might be one I might use. Now, you need to have lower command points than the enemy fleet. But of course, if you play for this, you can set up your fleet with a little bit lower command points than the usual fleet setup would be. And attacking the enemy targets with lower HP first means you should do quite a lot of damage early on. And then you still can retreat if you will not win the fight, but you did a lot of damage to the enemy fleet. So that's very interesting. Also, if you have a flanking fleet, using this skill with a flanking fleet, very, very interesting. And then when you use 2 fleets, one tanking fleet, one flanking fleet, it's even easier to have lower command points there. Very interesting skill. I don't know how it will exactly work. I don't think it will skip the attack order, front row, middle row, back row, but I would assume you will focus on ships with low HP, like in the front row first and in the middle row and so on. It might be overpowered. We will see how it will get implemented. If all ships then focus fire on one target, this is overpowered for sure. But yeah, I'm very curious to test that one out. Combat insertion for Carillions, Jaegers, and Carillions and Jaegers. We have to read through this. When a fleet is comprised of capital ships, before the target locks onto you as its primary target in battle, you will attack the enemy targets that have lower HP first. So, if I understand this right, so I know the game in the background works in rounds, meaning round 1 attack you, attack enemy, but I don't know who will start, but it works in rounds. So if I understand it correctly, that would mean you will have the priority in attack in the first round, and you will target a ship with lower HP first. Now, I don't think it will make much difference at the first round. I can't imagine that you will take out ships already in the first round. But maybe you will, then it will be very powerful. But after this, you should target also ships with lower HP first. I don't know if this will continue, if it will only be in the first round. But if it continues, it's a little bit like the Desperate Measure. We have to see. I'm very curious how it will be implemented. Now, Anti-Aircraft Network 1 and 2. Again, if your aircrafts are at a strength disadvantage, I'm very curious again, how is strength calculated by the game? Is it the pure CP, the command point? Is it an anti-aircraft damage per minute number? I hope I will ask the guys from NetEase. Maybe I'll get an answer. Right now I don't know how it is. But if your aircraft strength is lower than the one from the enemy, the hit rate of your aircraft, of your anti-aircraft weapons of the fleet will be increased, and you will prioritize attacking aircraft targets. Now, for your aircrafts having higher hit rate, this is nice, but I think, especially for your ships, this might change how aircrafts will be used in the future. If your ships not aircrafts, the normal ships, will now start prioritizing attacking aircrafts and do this with a higher hit rate, we might see a complete new damage source versus aircrafts. Very curious again about this. It's the Mar Tranquillatis and the Winged Hussar. The Winged Hussar was a very interesting anti-aircraft destroyer that didn't really work well in the past, and the Predator anti-aircraft cruiser. Now there's a second anti-aircraft network for the light cone, which by numbers should be one of the best anti-aircraft ships we have, but it never really managed to work in any effective way. And the Tundra anti-aircraft UAV. Same skill name, number 2, but a little bit different. So you still need to be in a disadvantage. And then the anti-aircraft range of anti-aircraft weapons of ships in the middle row will be extended to all ships in the same row. Now, again, anti-aircraft range of anti-aircraft weapons in the middle row will be extended to all ships in the same row. Now, let's take a look at this light cone area denial anti-aircraft Tundra UAV pod system. And as you can see here, I already opened it. We don't really have any information what rows it attacks. It carries 2 standard anti-aircraft. Unfortunately, I cannot go into the enhanced system because I don't have this. I did play around with different UAV anti-aircraft ships before, but we will see. It could be very interesting, it could be worthless. I can't really say this at this point. And unfortunately, as I don't have the light cone multi-role anti-aircraft, I will probably also not be able to test it out very early in the next few weeks or days. Sailing speed coordination. Another very interesting skill. It was only together with the FSV 830, the auxiliary ship. And when this fleet is only set up with frigates and aux ships, so we only have one aux ship at the moment, then the fleet's sailing speed and warp speed will be the average speed of the ships in the fleet. Now that could mean that you get a really fast fleet setup with an aux ship inside. I did play around with the FSV 830 when it came out. I was completely disappointed. I'll have to see if this will make any difference and can convince me that this ship is worth anything. Okay, strategic strike 1 and 2. It will allow us to launch strategic strikes in a fan-shaped area near our fleet. What I assume is if we get close enough, we might do like a strike to that fleet without needing to fly that last few meters. So we might be able to catch faster fleets by doing that if we get close enough and they don't expect us to be able to strike. It might also help a lot for timing attacks, because now I don't have to fly and try to find my way, and sometimes it takes 30 seconds, sometimes 30 minutes. So it might be really nice to really ensure that all fleets attack at the same time. And we do have quite a few ships that carry the skill. The Ceres aircraft destroyer, the Tundra tactical, and the Guardian support, as well as the CAS-066, Predator aircraft, Predator tactical, Jaeger aircraft, and also the CV-3000 comes with Strategic Strike 1, can be upgraded to Strategic Strike 3, and the Solar Whale comes with Strike 2 and can be upgraded to Strike 3. Now, all of this I think is very interesting. If you ask me, also very promising. These are some huge changes in the game. I like to really see and play around with this. I don't think it will change it too much, that suddenly things are getting unbalanced, but I do think it will bring us some additional opportunities. I mean, of course, we will see how they implement it at the end and how strong are these effects. We can't say this from this node, and it's not yet live, so everything what we see and read here still might change before it goes live. But for now, I am curious and I want to see how it works. So I hope you liked the video. I will post the link in the description, and as always, subscribe to the channel and give the video a thumbs up.